Peace. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your foul player. Very humbled that you would check out my video. But let me move on. I wanted to make a video regarding the rumor that Danny Garcia and Bud Crawford are going to be fighting if Bud Crawford signs with the PBC. Just a rumor. I mean, he hasn't signed with the PBC because that's still a rumor as well. But the rumor is that he's going to fight Danny Garcia once he signs with the PBC to then fight the winner of Ugis versus Errol Spence. I made a video about the same topic yesterday, and I voiced my displeasure with that announcement. I think it's whack. Like, no, at the end of the day, like I said this yesterday, nobody signed up or was asking for a Danny Garcia fight against Bud Crawford. Now, some moron may say, oh, well, they wanted to introduce him to the PBC crowd. Listen, the PBC crowd ain't that big like that, bro. Like, fucking, it's not like, whoever likes Errol Spence has zero idea who the fuck Bud Crawford is. Everybody who knows who Errol Spence is, or every Errol Spence fan knows who the fuck Bud Crawford is. Like, everybody who fucks with Bud Crawford knows who Errol Spence is. Stop playing games. Like, nobody. It's not like by him fighting Danny Garcia, like, Bud Crawford is gonna now be seen by this whole, like, large boxing market that doesn't know who he is. But, and this is all gonna be heralded by him fucking breaking Danny Garcia's head off his fucking neck when they actually do fight. Again, and more importantly, the Danny Garcia fight is just another fight that gets in the way of Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. Who I don't know who the fuck Errol Spence is gonna be fighting. In the meantime, I can see it being like a light touch, if you will, which whatever. I guess fucking but I think that the PBC does dumb business. I mean, and a lot of these guys that are Errol Spence defenders, I mean, are big fans of Jaron Ennis. And I mean, like, I don't blame you. Jaron Ennis has skills. He's a young cat. I mean, but what do you think would have been better business long term? I mean, to line up Bud Crawford with Jaron Ennis and then fight fucking Errol Spence. Again, it's not like the fight that I want to see. I don't want to see like fucking I don't want to see Errol Spence, or I don't want to see a Bud Crawford versus. Sorry about that. I got a phone call, but I don't want to see a Bud Crawford versus anybody unless it's Errol Spence. But I get it, but like that they're gonna try to. No, I don't get it. But but if they did like have to fight him with somebody else before he fights Errol Spence, why not do a guy who you think is a better long-term investment? Whether he's signed with you or not, like in Jaron Ennis. I know Jaron Ennis fights on Showtime and like kind of fights under the PBC umbrella, but he's not signed to them, some shit. But like, why not like try to bring Homeboy into the fold? Like, listen, like sign now, and you'll get a shot at Bud Crawford off the rip. And I don't really ain't no corny shit like, oh well, what if he beats Bud Crawford? Like, fuck, so, like, fantastic. Like, that's boxing. It is what it is. But no, they're gonna line him up with a fucking Danny Garcia. Like, again, like fights that nobody wants to see. Once Bud Crawford beats the shit out of Danny Garcia, what are people gonna say? That he's past his prime, that he hasn't fought. At least Jaron Ennis versus Bud Crawford would have not only like been a way greater match than a match against Danny Garcia, but it also would have taken a little bit of the he didn't have to go up any resistance excuse from a lot of aerosexuals, quite frankly. Like, I mean, like if Errol Spence loses to Bud Crawford, they're gonna say that Bud Crawford had a easier route than Errol Spence, which I could agree. He probably did at welterweight, but fighting Jaron Ennis in against Bud Crawford would have taken a little bit of that air out of the game. But PBC, I mean, of course, they're all about the brothers, so they had to hook up Danny Garcia. Oh wait, Danny Garcia is Puerto Rican like me, fucking, and a white boy Puerto Rican like me. Oh, well, Danny Garcia got ice, so he's basically one of us. No, motherfucker. Like, I'm just as black, if not blacker, than fucking anything Danny Garcia. I mean, like, or as far as hood elements and whatnot, like fucking, that shit has zero to do with any of what I'm saying. Like, basically they're hooking up a Puerto Rican cat, like, and giving him a pay. Oh, well, you gotta give Danny Garcia a payday because he's about to retire. No, you don't. Like, who the fuck, like, says who? Like, fight some fucking, go fight Jaron Ennis, Danny. Like, fucking, if you want to get bread, bro. Like, fuck. Like, why do you gotta reward these dudes? Like, fucking, on their way out. Like, like, I'd rather you reward them, like, while they're in the process of fucking, their prime, or within their prime. I'd rather you reward them by getting them great fights. Like, fucking, not, like, okay fights. And then trying to convince, like, fucking, people to pay for those lackluster fights. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, like, why are we doing this? We're just wasting time. Like, and it's the PBC way. Like, and then, a lot of people who are defenders of PBC are well, a lot of cats, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of y'all think that it's because there's some fucking some Wakanda shit going on at PBC. That's far from the truth. PBC stay hooking up Spanish dudes, bro. Get out of here. Like, and this coming from a Latin dude, bro. Like what? Like, your defense of PBC, you've gone above and beyond, like, for 5 years, all for what? A lot of y'all channels, like, it's okay to be critical of PBC. It's beneficial of you to be critical of the PBC because fucking otherwise they're gonna keep ramming it down your throat. They're gonna charge you $74.99 for Danny Garcia, $85 HD. I don't know how all fights don't come HD for free off the rip. That's another story. But PBC at the forefront of giving you PPV, pay-per-view every time out. Danny Garcia versus Bud Crawford. Danny Garcia sitting on the shelf for 2 years comes back against Bud Crawford, a man he avoided for most of his career. Like, fucking, yeah. Much intrigue there, but let me know what you guys think. And I mean, if you guys could, man, show me love. Like, hit that like button, subscribe, like, fucking but thank you for coming through either way. With that, I'm out. Peace.